Good morning, and welcome to Coffee with Bob. Yesterday, I told you a little bit about Vince Lombardi. Now, a couple of years ago, I read a great biography on him titled When Pride Still Mattered, The Life of Vince Lombardi by David Marinis. Now, I decided to find a biography on Lombardi after hearing someone else talk about him. I had the wonderful opportunity to hear former University of Alabama coach Bill Curry speak. He's an amazing man, very deep faith in God, and he told about a time where he really wasn't living his faith well. And that happened in his relationship with Coach Lombardi. Bill Curry was chosen in the NFL draft by Coach Lombardi to play for the Green Bay Packers. In his second year for Green Bay, he was able to start as center when an injury sidelined the regular starter. Green Bay went on to win the Super Bowl that year, but shortly after that, Green Bay made the decision to trade Bill Curry. He eventually was taken by the Baltimore Colts, who were coached at that time by another legendary coach, Don Shula. Instead of considering himself lucky to have played for two incredible coaches, Lombardi and Shula, Bill Curry was bitter and angry and blamed the trade all on Lombardi. He couldn't let it go. When he found great success under Shula, the press interviewed him and asked him to compare the two coaches. Curry said that Lombardi was abusive to his players and he couldn't care less about them. But Shula really cared for all of his players. Now, of course, that made the headlines. Bill Curry knew it really wasn't true, but he couldn't back down. He really put out a story that Lombardi was a cruel man, and Curry tried to justify his lies. He knew deep down it wasn't right. A couple years later, Curry ran into a former teammate from the Packers who immediately laid into him for what he had said about Lombardi. He told Curry that he needed to make amends, and if he did, Lombardi would welcome him back like the prodigal son. Instead, Curry huffed off and disregarded his words. But it wasn't too long after that Curry came face to face with Vince Lombardi. It was at the President's Prayer Breakfast. They were in this small passage, and Curry couldn't avoid Lombardi even though he was trying to. But just like his teammate had predicted, Lombardi opened up his arms and embraced Curry. Now, when Bill Curry was telling us this story, he paused and said, "This is how God treats us." After Lombardi hugged Bill, he said, "I think you and I need to talk." And Bill said yes, and in his embarrassment, he kind of slipped away. But it wasn't too much later that Vince Lombardi was dying from cancer in a hospital room, and Bill Curry went to see him. And as he saw his former coach, he started to tear up and pour out this apology. And he started to talk about what Lombardi had actually meant to him. And Lombardi grabbed his hand and squeezed it. And he said, "It would mean a lot to me if you would pray for me." Now, here are two great men showing what the love of God looks like. This is God's love for you, for me, for all people. I hope you have a great day today. Reflect on how much God loves you and what that looks like.